Marcus, I had to go and speak to my mum.
We are live, David.
Oh, good.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Silverstone. We are here for the British Grand Prix with Tier 1, with the Road to Glory, and what a race I'm sure we're going to have in store for you this evening. It's been a cracking race the last few races, so I'm sure tonight is going to be no different. Alongside me in the commentary box this evening, we have the wonderful David Benson.
Hello.
As we get a few details up, let's keep an eye, see a few people heading out onto track already. We got Keza in the Williams, Bottomer in the Alpha Tower. We got Motion out, Stephen, Markins, Benjamin and Harry all making a move out onto track as we get going for this Grand Prix. Let's make sure we got the right detail up. Oh, best tyre, there we go. So how are you this evening, David?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. Yourself?
Yeah, doing pretty good. Are you looking forward to the race this evening?
Yes, I'm looking forward to the race this weekend. It's going to be very interesting.
Absolutely. Did you watch the Formula 1 on the weekend? We can't go without bringing that up.
It was a fascinating race in the wet. I don't get wrong with that, because at the end of the day, I thought, what's his name, before the race, in qualifying, I thought Lando Norris was going to do really well in qualifying, but he got his lap time deleted, unfortunately, but he did very well to get third, I think he did, didn't he? Lando?
Yeah, third in the end. It was unlucky not to get second, really.
Yeah, but Hamilton, good try from him from the back.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he got super lucky with that red flag to allow him to unlap himself. But credit where credit's due. When he did get back racing, cracking drive through the field. I mean, you just compare him to his teammate Bottas, who just went backwards in the same position, didn't he?
Yeah, he crashed and hit the wall. Hi, thanks Jake for the message.
Yeah, Jake in the chat. Hi, Marcus and David. Hi, Jake. Hope you're looking forward to this one. I mean, when it comes to the real Formula 1, is it difficult for me not to be biased because I'm a Lando Norris fan, but he was on fire this weekend.
Yeah, he was quite good. He was brilliant. I'm not disagreeing with that, but all weekend he did very well.
Yeah.
He did very well in qualifying 3, but unfortunately he got his lap time deleted and stuff like that. Oh,
definitely, but we are with the Road to Glory, though, today. What do you reckon? The McLarens, Daz Blade and Mark Ince we got in the McLarens. Do you reckon they're going to get a podium this evening?
That's a possibility. It's a possibility.
Oh, it certainly is. Anything's a possibility, I think, when it comes to league racing, as we have seen. But we are riding on board with Keza, as you can see, just coming up to finish his first flying lap. I think he'll be the first person to give us a representative lap. What is it? It's a 132.109. I have done no practice round here, so I've absolutely no idea whether that's a good lap or a bad lap. I've got to be honest, I can't remember. But Benjamin beats it, 131.9. So does Bottomer, 128.2. So that's a lot faster. Jason was setting purple sectors on mediums, but he has invalidated. Harry 7 goes quicker. So does Mark on a 125.8. So at the moment, McLaren on top. That's what we like to see. You'd never tell I was a McLaren fan, would you?
No.
I think somebody... Who's that? I was just Jim Bob getting out the way. of people on a flying lap. Who have we got on a flyer to watch out for? Yeah, Aki in the racing point going onto his flying lap. I think by the looks of it, whoa, a little bit of a twitch at the back end as he flies through the first corner. Right on the limit of grip of those rear tyres. In this pink Mercedes. Super competitive car last year, but it's not looking too good this year in real life, is it, the Aston Martin?
No, it's not. No, it's not.
But I have to say, how much better does it look in that British Racing green?
Yeah, of course.
Shame they didn't use the yellow stripes, as we got a Ferrari getting right well out of the way of Mark there. Let's run down the old start-finish straight into the old Turn 1. He misses the apex a bit, but it's okay, it's not too bad. He's kept it within the lines, very easy to invalidate through there. Into Maggots and Beckett's got to keep absolutely flat through there. Very difficult sector to hook up. Back onto the old hangar straight, I believe. I've got to get my corner names right. I'm not sure whether you're more clued up than me on that, David.
I don't know all the
No. I've been to Silverstone as well a couple of times, so I should actually know them, but...
I know one's Cops and one's Mackett's and Beckett's. And
yeah.
One's Abbey.
Yeah, you got the Wellington straight, the Abbey, you got Hangar straight. It's just knowing which one's which. But Aki pops into 9th place, just behind his teammate Jason. But Jason's on the mediums, the 126.6 both set in. And you have a couple of people yet to set lap times. Jim Bob has gone back into the pits. He didn't set a lap, so not sure, he might have invalidated and decided to go back out. Neil Ray's in the pit still, and Stephen is on his out lap. But Bumper Car Ben has invalidated his lap, so that's not why he hasn't set a lap so far. Anyone else on a flying lap that you're on board with there, David?
I'm on board with Rawley. He's done a 125.970.
Yeah, and on the medium tyres as well. So that's a very good lap by the Renault. He's looking pretty competitive now. I tell you what I will do. Let's jump. I think Dazblade's on a bit of a lap. Oh no, he's not. He's coming into the pits. Anyone else on a lap? Just Benny is invalidated his lap in the Renault. Just Bennett is pretty new to league racing, so he is just getting up to speed with everything, but he's making fine form of himself so far. Let's watch ARG in the Ferrari. No, he's not going to come across the line. He's going to go into the pits every time I jump on board with somebody. Let's watch Jim Bob, shall we? He is the championship leader. He is on his out lap in the Alfa Romeo, so he should be starting his lap very shortly. Just trying to find. While we do ride on board with Jim Bob for his lap, I will run through the championship standings at the moment after last week's race in Monaco. What an eventful race that was. At the moment, it's Jim Bob at the top of the standings on 50 points. He has a nice gap to Mark Ince in second place in the McLaren, who is on 34. So I'm sure Jim Bob is going to be looking to keep that lead, but I'm pretty sure Mark Ince, currently at the top of the times on the 125.9, is going to be wanting to make up as many points as he can, try and cut that gap, as we see Jim Bob set purple. In third place, we have Taylor Richardson, Unbelievable Jeff, who is currently sat in fifth place on this in this qualifying session. He's in third in the championship. He's only 3 points behind Mark Ince. So again, looking to make up the deficit. And you run down after that, we've got Ruley, Aki, we've got Mr. GFX Lad, GT Ord, Harry 7, Dazblade, Benjamin, Hammerhead, Bumper Car, Ben, Russ 8th, Bottomer, ARG, Stephen P30, Ryan, Neil Ray, Motion, and Keza LUFC. That is the standings after last week. Obviously, I think we have a couple of drivers that have dropped out and a couple of drivers that are new, so they'll be wanting to try and make an impression. But let's watch Jim Bob as he comes over the line. What's he going to say? He's going to go pole. Is a 125.3, half a second nearly clear of Mark Ince in the McLaren. What a lap by the Alpha driver. He is looking pretty good to keep this championship lead, isn't he, David?
Yes, he is. Yes, he is at this moment in time.
I think you could use the word dominant so far.
Dominance.
Absolutely. We shall call him Lewis Hamilton. I'm not sure if he's a Hamilton fan. I'm not sure whether he'll appreciate that or not.
No, he doesn't.
Well, let's watch. Unbelievable. Jeff has gone out on the soft tyres. He's gone purple into Sector 1 in the Mercedes. We're used to seeing a Mercedes on pole in real life. Can we see one on the pole position today? Try and keep it flat through the old turn 1. Take a bit of curb and grass. That's the best way to do it. You want to turn in nice and early. That's the trick through there. Into Maggotts and Beckett's. Very nicely hooked that run. A little bit wide. Going to lose him a little bit of time coming onto the back straight. But he has gone purple into Sector 2 as well. So this is looking pretty good. Into the last bus stop chicane we go. Left, then quick flick back to the right. Get on the power as early as you can. Very difficult traction zone. Over the line, it's going to be second place, 125.359. Wow, that's very, very close to Jim Bob. It does say going purple on the last sector as well, but if he's gone purple on all sectors, but second place, I'm not quite sure how that works, but either way, it is only just into second for the Mercedes. Mark Ince has retired from the session. He's out. The old turn 1. Mark Ince has crashed out. We haven't got cameras in that area currently, so there's not much. I can't see. We can ride on board with Harry 7. We might see Mark on the right-hand side. There we go. A McLaren beached on the grass. He has crashed out and will be taking no further part of this qualifying session. Currently in third, so he's still looking okay, but that's not an ideal session for him, is it, David?
No, it's not.
I wonder what will be going through Mark's head right now. I'm sure he'll be gutted.
Yeah, he will be. He will not be very happy with that.
No, but let's watch Harry 7 in the Haas as he comes across the line. What can he do? He's displaced Mark in taking the third spot for himself, 125.7. So that drops Mark down another spot and he is unable to improve. That's going to make a bit of a difference. His teammate Dasblade in the other McLaren has invalidated his lap, so not looking too good for the McLarens right now. Who do we have? Let's watch Just Benny. He's new to this league in this Renault, so let's see what he can manage this evening. It looks like somebody else has had a bit of a moment through the old turn 1 as well. I'm not sure. That looks like an Alfa or a Ferrari perhaps. They're not out of the session, so they're still going. That's okay.
It's a racing point. Slowing down.
There's a racing point, yeah, I believe that's Aki letting some traffic through.
Oh, who's gone off? Is it Bottomer or Neil? Bottomer's gone off.
Has Bottomer gone off? What happened there, David? We missed that one.
I think he went a bit wide and he's just lost a lot of time.
Oh dear, what a shame for him. We've got ARG getting out the way. Just Benny coming into the last sector. This looks like a pretty nice, neat, tidy lap from Benjamin. Very good so far. Up to the line. What's he going to set? He's not. He's going to improve by 0.3, but it doesn't improve his position. 126.7. That's very good, considering he's fairly new to all this league racing. That is only a 10th behind Aki and Jason, who have been doing this for a long time. But Jason is back out on the softs. He's looking to improve his lap time on the medium, so he's not happy with 11th place. He wants to better this one. So let's watch with Jason as he sets his flying lap. Goes over the line. Now Dazblade has retired from the session. Is he out? He is out. Through the third sector, both McLarens have crashed out of this session. Drama indeed. But let's watch back with the racing point of Jason while he goes through this tricky technical first sector. Onto the Wellington Straight, underneath the bridge. Awkward left-hander, can carry a lot of speed through here, but you don't want to run wide. Very easy to invalidate because you've got a tight hairpin right after. Get on the power as early as you can. Keep hugging your car to the right-hand side as much as you can. Then run it out to the left. Use all the curb you can. Turn in nice and early. Take a bit of grass and a bit of curb. Don't run wide and invalidate. Just about got away with that, Jason. That's perfect. Into Magnus and Beckett's absolutely flat through this section of track. These cars are amazing, the amount of downforce they have. And into the last sector, he is a second up on his lap. He does go purple. So at the moment, what's he on? 126.6. So at the moment, he's on course for 4th place. But let's see if he can improve in the last sector as well on those softs. Runs a bit wide, misses both those apexes. I'm sure that lost him a little bit of time. But up to the line, it is 3rd place, 125.3. Very nice lap by Jason indeed. First run on his softs, and that puts him into 3rd place. Good going by the Racing Point driver there. Anyone you're keeping an eye on there, David?
Not at the moment. I'm just trying to do something for my, the video feed, and had a problem with it.
No worries. We've got Rawley went purple in the first sector. He did look like he had a little bit of traffic there of a Red Bull. Not sure who that was, and I'm not sure whether it's held him up at all, but let's keep on board with him, see whether he can improve or whether this has ruined his lap. I don't think he's ruined it. He's carrying on going, so it can't be too bad. He's only just down by a 10th, just shy of a 10th, so if he can improve through this last sector, he has a chance at overtaking Jason once again. Through he goes, up to the line. What a great camera shot that is. Does he improve? No, he doesn't. He's a 10th and a half down, so he stays in 4th position. Let's see, who else have we got? We've got GT Ord. Looks like he's on a flying lap. Cracking shot of him through the Maggots and Beckett's complex there. He's going to come back onto the Old Hangar Straight. DRS wide open. And he pulls into the pits. So that's it for him. Who else have we got? We got Keza getting in the way of ARG, but it looks like Keza is an AI car, but I think ARG has invalidated anyway. He certainly has. We got Benjamin in the Red Bull. Let's see what he can manage. Currently in 18th place. I'm sure he's desperate to improve on that. Neat and tidy through that sector. He is the 10th up on his lap time. He has been dropped down to 20th while we've been watching him. So hopefully that will help. Jim Bob has retired from the session. Jim Bob is out. Jim Bob is out of this qualifying session. He's currently on pole, but he hasn't only got a slender margin to Unbelievable Jeff. Wow. Right at the end, he was looking to improve. Is Unbelievable Jeff on the line? No, he's finished. So that is it. The clock has ticked over. I think most people have actually stayed in the pits or not done a lap. We've not got many people on circuit currently. So I think Jim Bob's pole position is going to stay. Yeah, nobody's going to improve. Wow, what a session we had there, David. What do you make of that?
Yeah. Wow, what a lap. What a lap from Jim Bob. Unfortunately he crashed, but he's done really well to get that done, and he's out the way. Whole position for Jim. Oh.
Yeah, best start to this race weekend for Jim Bob. Only a slender margin. Look at the gap between first and third. 3 cars separated by 0.069 of a second. Wow. And then you got Ruley and Russace both set identical lap times for 4th and 5th. I think this is going to be a corker of a race. This is very, very tight indeed.
Yes, it is.
And watch for Mark Ince in the McLaren. Currently in 7th place. He missed out on pole by 0.6 of a second, but that was an early lap of his. He did go out of this session on his 2nd flying lap, I believe. So I'm sure he's going to be wanting to make up a few positions in this race and eat into that championship lead as we get ready for the race. Everyone chooses their strategy and how much fuel they're going to ride on board with. It's looking a little bit overcast, isn't it there, David?
Yeah, of course it is. It might be a chance of rain. There might be a chance of rain.
Absolutely. It'd be interesting if any of you drivers are watching. Please let me know if it's raining or if it's going to be dry this session. Pop it in the group chat or comment on my stream.
Yep.
As we got our countdown clock going. This is the British Grand Prix, so in terms of weather, anything can happen. It always produces drama. Good track for overtaking as well. We got what, two DRS zones around here, but there's a lot of straights to get slipstream in. Reasonably easy to follow, but everyone is lined up, ready to go. We have 5 lights, and away we go. Got a few cars getting a good start at the back, but I think Jim Bob has got away pretty cleanly. Unbelievable Jeff follows him through. He's having a look round the outside, but I don't think he's going to be close enough. Few changes, position changes further back. Mark Ince is fighting away as we got a spinner, a Mercedes spinning off. Who was that? I think it was Russ Ace. So he'll be gutted about that. A bit more drama further back in the field. We've got wings flying everywhere. What has gone on? Did you catch any of that action, David? Because I missed a lot of that.
I've missed all of it as well. I just didn't see what happened. I think there was loads of bit of damage onto their wings.
There was a lot of drama going on there. We got a few people fighting at the back again here. You got Russ looking to make up some time after that spin. He's all over the back of Bottomer. They're going side by side into the old turn 1. They touch wheels, but the Mercedes driver has the position going into the turn. That is a nice move indeed. There's your pit stop strategy predicted for the race. It's going to be softs to mediums or softs to hards. I think softs to mediums is probably the way to go around here.
Yep.
Well, let's jump on board with the lead. We've got Harry 7 is sandwiched between 2 McLarens. Dazblade is looking to make a move past him. If we check the position changes on the first lap, as you can see, the big loser really is Russ Ace with that half spin. He managed to correct it, so he hasn't gone all the way to the back, so it's not too bad. What's happened there? Is that GT Ord? GT Ord has had an issue coming out of the last corner, and he's dropping down the order. He's in 16th place now. So, not sure what happened there. Did you catch that at all?
No, I didn't. Oh, he's been overtaken, and then Ryan's got a 3-second penalty.
Oh dear, taking a few liberties with track limits already, as we've got Ruley and Unbelievable Jeff fighting side by side there. And Jason's going to have a look round the outside of Ruley. He says thank you very much, but he can't quite make that move. So he's looking to take advantage of these two fighting away. What a great battle this is. Jason's getting a run at the Renault driver up the inside of the old turn 1, and he's got the move made. Brilliant driving there from the racing point. I'm sure Ruley will be kicking himself.
Yep, he will be kicking himself.
Let's go. Let's see what tyres everybody is on. Absolutely everybody in this field on soft compound tyres, bar Aki, who is on mediums. But Ruley is having a look back at Jason down the old hanger straight, and he's got the position back once more. So it is back to round 2 now between these two. This is looking like a tasty battle indeed. So yeah, Aki in 12th position, the only driver on medium tyres. So that's going to be one to watch during this race.
Harry's made the
Markins in the
fastest lap.
McLaren has made up a couple of positions to 5th, so he's on the charge already. He's only 9/10 behind this group ahead of him too. But don't count out Harry 7 and Dazblade following. Got to change your position further back. Ryan has got past Stephen by the looks of it, but Stephen goes back around the outside. Oh, I think Ryan's got a bit of wing damage looking at that. Yeah, he's lost a bit of his front wing, so I'm not sure whether there was contact there. But we will go back with the leaders. We'll go back with Rawley, who's looking pretty close to Unbelievable Jeff now. Jason has dropped back a tiny amount, but he's still there. This is anybody's guess as GT goes into the pits. He's on the hard tyres now, hoping to get to the end of this race. As Harry 7 picks himself up a time penalty, that's very early indeed. Very easy track to get a few warnings and get a penalty, isn't it, David?
Yes, it is. It is. It's very difficult to keep on the track. Yellow flag.
What has happened there? Is that Orsat? It certainly is. He's just come out the pits and spun it. Those hard tyres, he's struggling to get up to temperature as Jim Bob goes quickest lap so far. He's running away with this at the moment. 1.6 second lead over Unbelievable Jeff. But you've got a cracking battle behind Unbelievable Jeff, Rawley, Mr. GFX lad, Markins, Harry 7 and Dazblade all fighting it out for second place. That is second down to 7th, covered by a very small margin indeed.
Yep. I'm on board with Rawley. Oh, Rawley, come on.
Right, they'll ride on board with Harry in the Haas nearer the back of this train, but he's very close to the back of Markins. He's got a nice, well, much better traction coming off that hairpin, but he's saving his battery. And this is it round this track. It is quite difficult to save your ERS. You don't want to use it all up because you could leave yourself as a sitting duck on these straights, because there is an awful lot of straights where engine power comes into its own round here. Got Rawley getting very close to Unbelievable Jeff here. Is he going to have a look around the outside? Unbelievable Jeff goes defensive, but he's got the position still holding on for all his might. I feel bad for the guys in the middle of this train because you don't know whether to look ahead of you or behind you. Everybody is so close, they're bumper to bumper.
Yes.
And all of this is allowing Jim Bob to stretch his lead out. And Jason's got himself a time penalty for corner cutting. It was only a matter of time, wasn't it, Jason? But he gets there. I'm sure everyone's going to be catching up with you by the end of this race. As Rawley's getting a really nice drive on Unbelievable Jeff. They are side by side, but the Renault driver has the position thanks to that DRS. He had much better straight line speed that time around and is up to second place. Can Unbelievable Jeff fight back and try and regain this position, or is he going to fall into the clutches of Jason behind? We will have to wait and see. Harry 7 behind looks very close to the back of Mark Ince. So Mark wanting to make a few positions up and try and bite into this championship lead, but so far not going so well for himself. He's currently in 5th, whereas Jim Bob is out in front and running away with this race victory.
Yep.
We got Just Benny in the other Renault, looking very close to the back of Stephen P30 in the Haas. He's got DRS. Can he make the move made? He's going to be gaining on him. Is it going to be enough by the end of the straight? I don't think it is. Is he going to make a late lunge? He's going to have a look, but it's a bit too far back for this. So Just Benny driving very well indeed this race, into the points and looking to improve himself further. So both Renaults looking pretty aggressive at this stage of the race. They're looking very fast indeed.
Yes, they are looking fast.
Let's ride on board with Jason because I think he's very close to the back of Unbelievable Jeff. They both have DRS though along this straight, and I think that's going to save Unbelievable Jeff. Yeah, look at the straight line speed of that Mercedes. That's incredible. Don't know what wings these guys are all running. We aren't privy to their setups, unfortunately. And that could be making... Whoa, Dazblade runs very wide indeed. Looked like he had no front wing there, the understeer he had, but he does have a front wing still. So not sure what happened there. Let's watch on board with the Haas driver of Harry as he closes in on the McLaren of Mark. Keep it, you want to stick as close to Mark as you can through. He's lost him a little bit on that last right-hander, and I think that's made all the difference. He's not going to be close enough to make the move, but Unbelievable Jeff and Jason are side by side. Jason goes round the outside of Unbelievable Jeff, so the Mercedes is going backwards in this race as it stands. And Rawley in second place has managed to put 1.3 second gap ahead as we've got Dazblade comes into the pits in the McLaren. Let's see what he's going to go on. Surely this is going to be hards to the end, you'd imagine. I don't think he can... Well, maybe he can stretch mediums out. He's on to mediums. That's a lot of laps to stretch mediums out, though, isn't it, David?
Yes, it is. Very stretched. You give it a stretch.
Oh, sorry to interrupt. We got Harry in the Haas. He has spun round at the exit of turn 1. Didn't catch what happened there, but he was looking very quick behind Mark, and he has dropped it. Not sure if there was contact or he's dropped it on his own, but that's very unfortunate for the Haas driver. Dropped him down to 10th place, but we've had a couple of people pit, so it could drop him out the points when all is said and done. Just Benny is still looking all over the back of the other Haas, so Haas aren't really on the defensive right now.
Bottomers in the pits.
No, well, just keep an eye on him and let us know what tyre he decides to go on. I mean, strategy-wise, it's great to get the undercut now, but...
Hards, I think he's on hards.
He's on hards, yeah, but you could find yourself running out of tyres by the end of the race. If you go on hards, you're not going to be as quick as the mediums, but you know they're going to last. And they do come into their own hard, so it is a viable option. Go on the hards now, get the undercut, gain track position, and then try and hold on to it. But like I said, this track is quite good for overtaking. Yep. So it can be difficult to hold on to your position if the driver behind is much quicker. Unbelievable Jeff gets himself a 3-second time penalty now, up in 4th place, so that is that. As we are watching Stephen P30 in the Haas and Just Benny in the Renault. Just Benny looking around the outside, but nothing quite doing there. Be patient, bide your time. He's looking much, much closer to the Haas this time around. He's going to get a DRS. Can he get this move done? Down the back straight. Here he goes. Pulls to the inside. Not quite close enough to send a move up the inside. That's unfortunate. As Harry in the Haas goes into the pits as well. He's on fresh mediums. And we got Aki as well closing up on this fight between Just Benny and Stephen P30. Just Benny having a look around the outside of Stephen 30. Wow, that would have been an amazing move if he had made that stick.
Yeah, it would have been.
We got Mark Ince making a move on Unbelievable Jeff. Wow, so Unbelievable Jeff really struggling right now. He is going only backwards in this race, unfortunately. Had a great start up in 2nd place, but he's now been overtaken by Rawley, Jason and Mark. So he's struggling out there.
Yep.
Got a yellow flag in sector 1. What's that for? Has somebody gone off? I think it was Orsat again. It might have had a little bit of an issue. Not sure. Didn't catch that one. If you're watching this stream and you have a favourite driver or your mate is driving, by all means drop their names in the chat and we can watch them for a little bit as well. We'll try and give everyone as much airtime as we possibly can. But we got a Mercedes off. It's Unbelievable Jeff, so his day goes from bad to worse. Wow. Just when you think this race couldn't get any more drama filled, we have a Mercedes off in the gravel. Sound familiar to you, David?
Yeah, it does.
Unlike the real Mercedes driver, he hasn't lost his front wing, and he's not a lap down, so that's fortunate. And I don't think we're going to get any red flags, because you don't get them in this game. But let's ride back with, yeah, Stephen P30, Just Benny and Aki, as we're going to have a nice little fight. And Just Benny looks like he's very close to the Haas of Stephen P30. DRS is open. They're going side by side. Just Benny has the inside, and he has the track position going into the right-hander. He was patient. He was fighting it hard for a lot. But Stephen P30 is going to go into the pits. He's calling it a day on those softs. So he's going to look to make an undercut. We've got a few people into the pits now. We've got Rawley, Bumper Car Ben, Unbelievable Jeff, all in the pits now. So this race is just about to get interesting. Let's see what Rawley goes in on. He's on to the mediums. Tom in the chat, sad to see it, McLaren. They must have ran out of funds when selecting their second seat, Rawley. Oh dear. Quite funny. Anyway, we'll try not to laugh too much about that. And a few battles further back, you got a nice little train of cars. Neil followed by Harry. Harry's going to have a look up the inside of Neil. Can he make the move? Oh my goodness, Neil has gone round. Has he caught it? He's caught it. Wow, what a hell hold by the AlphaTauri driver. Fantastic. That looked like he was going round for certain, but here's that as Harry makes another move, gets himself up to 14. Tom, my bad, he actually drives a Renault, yeah. Yeah, I know what you meant, but both Renaults up in fourth and fifth, or sixth, sorry. But Just Benny is in the pits now. So it'll be interesting to see where he comes out in relation to Stephen P30. Where is Stephen on track? He is coming down the back straight now, the hanger straight. Tom, mugged myself off. Yeah, we've all been there, Tom. We've all been there. We've all mugged ourselves off somehow. Let's see what we're doing. We've got Just Benny going on to the fresh mediums. Has he got going? He is going. He's just getting to the end of the pit lane. I have a feeling, I think Stephen P30 is going to get this position back. He's going to be very, very close indeed. Oh, Just Benny has just got out in front of the Haas driver. That was very close. So the undercut hasn't worked for Stephen P30. He's now, they're both on the same tyres, and Stephen P30 has 1 lap older tyres. So, well raced by the Renault driver. He's making a few moves up the order. Russ making a move further back on Keza. I think Keza isn't racing though this evening. I'm not sure. But it's all spaced out a little bit at the front. Jim Bob and Jason and also Mark all still staying out on their soft tyres. So they're looking to stretch their stints out as long as possible. But there's a bit of gap between them all now. Aki is looking very strong in 4th place, still on his mediums. He started the race on them, so he's going to make these last till very late in the race indeed, and he's going to look very quick on those soft tyres. Rawley sets fastest lap of the race, 128.3. He's in 5th place, looking to chase down Aki, but they are on very different races indeed. We got any close battles? Stephen is still looking at the back of Just Benny. He's not dropping him. Can Stephen make a move and get back past the Renault driver by the end of this Grand Prix? This is going to be fascinating. I get a feeling this battle is going to go on right till the final lap. Yeah, motion in the Williams, pitting further down off his softs. ARG still out on his softs in 11th place.
Jim Bob, I think. Jim Bob in the pit. Jim Bob's in the pits.
Jim Bob in the pits. There we go. We've got Tom in the chat. Rawley could be on the undercut for first, and I think he could be right. So let's keep an eye on this. Rawley was in 2nd place. Jim Bob now in the pits. Has his pace been strong enough to keep that lead Or has Rawley, who was setting purple laps earlier, has he got made enough time to jump Jim Bob? Let's see, as the Renault driver comes into the last chicane now. Jim Bob is in the pits, putting on his new tyres. He's got his new tyres. It was a good stop by Alfa Romeo, and he's getting to the pit exit. Will Rawley get this position? I think he will. Yes, he does. Jim Bob comes out behind Rawley. So the undercut has worked beautifully for the Renault driver. I'm sure Jim Bob will be very unhappy to see that Alfa in front of him. But you got to remember, Rawley's tyres are 2 laps older than Jim Bob's now. So come the end of the race, Rawley is going to be in a bit of trouble perhaps. Jim Bob just has to keep with him, use those fresher tyres and use the advantage that he's got and try and make a move later on. But can Rawley keep pushing? Can he stretch out a nice gap? Well, I'm sure this is going to be fascinating to watch.
Yep. Kes is in the pits again.
Yeah, he certainly is. You are right. Bottomer gets himself a 3-second time penalty. Oh dear, we got Orsat's just put in the chat, electricity went out. So that's why he's struggling down there, because it's his AI driving for him. So that's a bit annoying for Orsat. Looking like he could have made a good recovery on those hards. But we've still got Just Benny and Stephen P30. Renault and Haas still fighting it out for 9th and 10th.
I'm on board with them 9th and 10th now.
Yeah, absolutely. While David rides on board with them, let's have a look into the penalty count. We got Jason on 6 seconds of time penalties. So I think he's going to lose a position there. We got Unbelievable Jeff gets himself a 3-second time penalty, another one, so that brings him up to 9 seconds. So he's not looking too good at all at this moment in time. Dazblade is on 3, Just Benny is on 3, ARG on 3, Russ Ace on 3, and Bottomer on 3. 6 seconds you've got Stephen P30, Mr. GFX Lad, and GT Ord. But it's his AI that he's running around for him now. 9 seconds of penalties. We've got Harry, we got Neil Ray, and we've got Unbelievable Jeff as Rawley gets himself a 3-second time penalty. Now that could have big implications on the outcome of this Grand Prix. But Rawley gets himself up past Aki, who is still on those old mediums. And Ryan in 11th is on the majority of time penalties. For anyone, he's on 12. So I'm not sure what corners he's been cutting, but it's quite a lot of them. So...
Sorry to interrupt you, Mark. There's a
safety car. Well, yeah, well spotted. Who's out? I didn't catch who's out. Or what's happened there. Nobody's out.
Surprising.
Nobody is out. That's very unusual. Is there debris on the track? There must be.
There must be. Somewhere. There's the safety car behind. Oh.
Yeah, nobody spun, nobody out of this Grand Prix, and I can't see any issues for anyone at this moment in time. So, has anybody dropped down the order somewhat? I don't think so. No. So, goodness knows what this safety car is for. Unfortunately, we don't have the luxury of the real F1, and we can't watch replays of what has happened. No. So this is probably going to benefit, I would say, Aki quite well, actually, because he can, as Jason gets himself another 3-second time penalty for cutting. Come on, Jason, you're under safety car. You shouldn't be cutting corners. As Aki can now pit under safety car, I'm pretty confident he'll take a set of softs to the end. Rawley's coming in the pits as well, so the leader is in the pits. He's not happy to stay out on the mediums. He's not willing to risk it. Does Jim Bob come in? No, he doesn't. Jim Bob is staying out on the mediums. So, split strategy in the lead. Jason comes into the pits as well. Does Mark Ince come in? No. He's going to stay out. He's on hard tyres, so he's going to be a bit vulnerable, but he's going to gain track position over these people. So, wow. What do you think's the best call? What would you stay out, or would you come in onto softs? What do you think, David?
I would stay out. I would stay out and then go softs to the end.
Oh, Just Bennett's got a drive-through penalty. Oh, absolutely gutted for him. That is a real shame. The Renault driver was doing so well fighting for points, but he's got himself a drive-through penalty now. Super annoying.
Yep.
Well, I mean, yeah, we're gonna have a couple of laps under safety cars. So we're gonna get a good sort of 8-9 laps maybe of racing. Ruley has only dropped to 3rd place. Same with Aki, who's done very well for himself. He's up to 4th position, but on brand new softs. So, what does Ruley have to do to get the Grand Prix victory back? He has to get in front of Mark Ince, who's on the hard tyres. So, he shouldn't have to work too hard, I wouldn't imagine, to get that position. There's a big tyre offset on that one. Jim Bob is on the mediums, so again a tyre offset, but not as much. But they're still fresh mediums, so he has a chance of holding on. But you've got to remember, Rowley has a time penalty. What does he have? 3 seconds, I believe. Yeah, 3 seconds. So he's going to have to get ahead of Jim Bob and pull 3 seconds. But we got Chris in the chat. I would change on softs. I tend to agree with you. You've got to know how many positions you're going to drop, because if you're only going to drop sort of 1 or 2, then you've got to go on the softs. But if you're going to end up dropping sort of 5, 10 places, maybe more, it's not worth doing it, because you get the amount of work you got to make for yourself. And we got a McLaren in. Who's that? Is that Mark? That's Mark coming in the pits. We decided not to, but that's going to tumble him down the order. So he's feeling pretty vulnerable now on those hards. Not sure why he didn't make that call on the first time around, because everyone's bunched up now. It's going to lose him a lot of positions indeed. What do you make of that, David?
Yeah, I think that's going to waste him a lot of time. It's going to make him worse.
It certainly is. It certainly is. I think most people on brand new softs in the top 10, it's just Jim Bob who's decided to stay out. And unfortunately for Jim Bob, with Mark now pitting, that's allowed Rowley right up to the back of him. So a bit of a gamble. This is going to be an interesting one to the end.
And he's got Mark Ince has just got off. He's just come out of the pits. He's just went off.
Oh, did he? What happened there?
I think he went a bit too wide and spun it.
Yeah, the cold tyres, very easy to get it wrong. Tom in the chat, yeah, I was unsure, but he worked that out well, coming back out in 3rd. Even better now, Mark has pitted it. Yeah, completely agree. He's looking in a very strong position indeed. It's just that penalty. I think you would be fairly confident that he would get past Jim Bob. Those mediums are going to hold up better come the end of the race, but I mean, there's not going to be a big drop off now. But can Jim Bob stay within 3 seconds without getting a penalty himself? And I think he's got a good chance of doing that. So I think that's where it's going to be won or lost today. I can't see Rowley on those new softs being held up for too long. And Tom, yeah, well, better for the restart. Absolutely. Definitely. Chris also confirming, you can go for a long time on the softs. Yeah, a lot of people, they pitted, lap 12, 13 even on the softs. And that was with a heavy fuel load, so, you're not going to have much of a drop-off at all on these softs. But the medium's still a good race tyre. It is still a good tyre to be on. Let's have a check let's check in on our fastest lap so far. At the moment it's Rowley on a 128.3, and you would say he's probably likely to keep hold of that, certainly now, because everyone's on the soft, so we're all going to go a little bit quicker. Let's go back with interval. How many stops has everyone had? most people had 2 stops at this point. A lot of people pitting under that safety car, not taking the risk of staying out like Jim Bob has. Where's your money at, David? Who are you putting on to win this Grand Prix?
I think Jim Bob's got a chance, but if he could keep his head cool, keep it calm, just warm his tyres a little bit, he can just get there. He will get somewhere to the end.
Yeah, definitely. I think he's got to make that car as wide as he can and not let Rowley pass. But he's got to remember, if Rowley gets past, it's not the end of the world. You can afford to let him get past. Don't fight it too hard. Don't create a collision, you know, trying to battle them, because he can still go ahead and he just got to stay within 3 seconds. But that's going to be difficult with the tyre deficit. So if he can hold Rowley up for a couple of laps, then that gives him a very, very strong chance to keep this win. I mean, Mark Ince is going to be one to watch on the restart, down in 10th place. He's suffered quite a lot because of that late decision to pit. So I'm sure he's going to be looking to make a few moves before this Grand Prix is over. Aki has done amazing for himself, up into 3rd place on the podium as it stands. That strategy starting on the mediums, he was the only one to do so, and he's benefited so much from it.
Yeah. Totally agree with that. Safety cars in this lap.
Perfect. That's what we want to hear. We've got Tom in the chat quickly. Dale could be helped by others being behind Jim Bob on the softs. Yeah, that's true. If Aki, Jason, Dazblade, anyone behind, he's feeling pretty racy indeed, you might find a few issues. But we're going to ride on board with Aki on the restart. That is worth mentioning as well. There is 2 lapped cars in between Jim Bob and Rowley, so Rowley's not going to be able to be all over the back of Jim Bob right away. It's going to take him at least a couple of corners to gain the time back. But Jim Bob's going to go very late indeed. He is going now across the line. We are back racing once again. Aki's got a very nice restart. Having a look at the inside of Rowley. Can he make a move? No, he can't. We got Jason and Dazblade having a good old battle behind. They've got nice restarts as well. It's very difficult with the ghosted cars of lapped runners behind. Oh, the racing points have touched. The racing points have touched. What is going on here? I think we're having a few internet connection issues or something. Somebody's ghosting around, jumping around. I'm not sure what's happening on your screen, David, but it's chaos on mine.
It's Daz has gone really he's pushing it so hard, and there's been damage. Oh, bloody hell! What's it?
Dazblade is off. Dazblade is off in the McLaren. He is on the grass. Chaos, absolute chaos reigns supreme on this restart. I'm not sure how much of that was bad internet by people and how much was genuine people bumping into each other, but it was absolute chaos then. Jason has got past his teammate for that last spot on the podium, but remember, he does have quite a few penalties. Jim Bob is still holding the lead as we got another safety car. Another safety car is deployed, and why is that? That is because Dazblade is out. Dazblade is out of this Grand Prix. He has gone out in the last sector. Not sure what happened there, but it wasn't a good restart for him on the whole, was it? Wow, that was drama, that was chaos, and this is only going to help Jim Bob. I think you got to say, what safety car is going to be out? What, another lap, maybe 2 laps? A couple of people coming into the pits now, Just Bene and Neil Ray. I think this perhaps has secured the race victory for Jim Bob, hasn't it? Because Rowley, we didn't really ride on board with him. I don't know whether you saw it all. He never really caught Jim Bob that much. He was a second away from him and never really caught him. It's going to be different on this restart because he's got no lapped runners in between them. But, oh, Aki's dropped down to 5th now. Unbelievable, Jeff got past him as well. I didn't catch that one. So that's a shame for Aki. He's done so well for himself, but he's dropped a couple of positions. Tom, he's a bottle job. I'm presuming that's a Dazblade. But yeah, that was chaos. Could you work out what was happening in the melee there, David?
Yeah, I saw someone. I think there was a lap car in front of Dazblade, and he got hit from behind or something. Or I don't know. He just got whacked, and then he just went off into the wall. Deliberate.
Oh dear, this race really hasn't gone well for the McLarens, has it?
No, Dazblade did.
No, it's chaos. I do believe both the racing points made a bit of contact, but I don't think there's any damage for either of them. I didn't see any. No, they both got their front wings intact, so that's not too bad. We're just waiting for somebody at the back to catch up. I believe that is Neil in 16th. Yeah, just waiting for him to catch up, and hopefully we will get back racing once again next lap. So we're going to have, what, 5 laps of racing. But that was chaotic indeed. Let's hope for a cleaner restart this time, shall we say. There was a lot of feisty driving going on out there. A lot of people, it's near the end of the Grand Prix. You're all on brand new tyres. You've got nothing to lose at that point. And everything to gain. Well, that's how it feels like. And there was a few ambitious moves and a bit of harsh defending as well, and it was all kicking off. I didn't see anything untoward though. I think it was all good, clean, or good, fair racing. It was just very hard. But that's what we're out there for. We're out there to be racing, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
So while we watch these guys on the lap and talk about hard, clean and unfair racing, what did you make of the Bottas and Russell incident then on the weekend?
It was horrible. It was not very nice, but they're saying 70% it was all Russell's fault, 30% it was Bottas. It was a nasty accident. It was a very horrible accident. It was just so horrible. And I thought Bottas didn't do very well in qualifying, but I get that in his head. But Russell was doing good until that accident happened.
Oh, Russell was doing fantastic, wasn't he? Yeah, absolutely driving the wheels off of that Williams. And I got to be honest, my personal opinion, you know, I've watched it so many times now to see what's gone on, and I think both drivers are to blame. I think both drivers have got to look at themselves. They could have both done things differently. You know, Bottas did come across very late in the straight. I know the track sort of curves around and that's the natural racing line, but he did start moving over to the right to start to squeeze Russell very late as we've got safety car in this lap, but then Russell did have enough room. But you try judge that at that sort of speed, us mere mortals wouldn't be able to do it, so it's difficult enough for these guys. But yeah, spectacular plane crash as a result, as we look to get back racing once again in the Road to Glory. Much more interesting than the real life Formula 1. Chris is saying in the chat, Bottas' fault. Russell comes with so much more speed and was pushed out. I do agree, and I think that's where Bottas has gone wrong on that. I think Russell isn't completely blameless, but I completely agree with you. But back to the Grand Prix. We are racing once again. Looks like a bit of a better restart from everybody so far this time. Everyone's got around the first bend cleanly, but into the first sector we go. Unbelievable Jeff very late on the brakes, running a little bit wide there. Jason is very close to the back of Rawley. He's looking pretty menacing on the Renault. Can he make a move? No DRS just yet because we've just been under safety car. But there's a big gap from Aki down to bumper car Ben already, 1.8 seconds. So these top 5 drivers have got a very nice restart indeed. Jim Bob gets a little squirrel on coming out the end exit of that corner, and that's going to allow Rawley to have a run at him, but I don't think he's going to be close enough into the old turn 1. But that is not what Jim Bob wants to be seeing right now. We have a lot of penalties still to apply. Let's have a quick look on the top 4. You got 3 seconds for Rawley, 9 seconds for Jason, 9 seconds for Unbelievable Jeff. So Aki's looking very pretty indeed in 5th. He might have lost those positions on track, but I think he's going to be looking good come the finish line. Just needs to hold on.
Just Ben got a 3-second penalty.
Oh dear, poor Just Ben. He still has that drive through to serve, remember, as well. So that's going to send him tumbling down the order. We got another McLaren having a few problems, have we? It looked like the McLaren. He had a yellow flag. Looked like he was having problems, but he's gone down the order. He's in the 11th, so it's not gone well. What's happened? Rawley's down in 6th. Just as I skipped away from the leaders, Rawley is in 6th place. Did you see what happened, David? I didn't.
Yes, I did. He spun it onto the final. He was on the final bit of the lap, and then he just spun it.
Oh no, he's dropped the ball just when it mattered. That is a real shame for Rawley. That just sent him tumbling down the order. He's in behind bumper car Ben. He's going to look to make a move. Not sure whether he can get one now.
Just to interrupt you, Marcus, we've just had a disqualification on the bottom of the screen.
Yes, Just Bennett has been disqualified for not serving his drive-through penalty. So I know he is fairly new to this game, so I'm not entirely sure whether he knows. But you cannot serve a drive-through under safety car, and I did see him come in a couple of times, so I'm not sure whether he perhaps thought that he had served it. So not good. Yeah, he's come in the chat. Haha, not good. Yeah, one of those things, isn't it? I don't think it makes a difference. It would have dropped you to last. Now everyone's backed up under safety car, so it's a very harsh penalty indeed to drive through. But we've got Stephen B30 gets himself a time penalty. Mark Ince gets himself past Bottomer, so he's looking to recover a little bit as well. It's not been a good race for him. We do have DRS now enabled as Jason is looking very close to the back of Jim Bob, but he has 9 seconds worth of penalties, so I think Jim Bob's pretty good for the win at the moment. He can afford to let Jason past. Tom said he was a bottle job. Dale. Yeah, you called it. You called it. There we go. But he's all over the back of bumper car Ben. Can he make a move down the straight? He's looking to the outside. Goes purple in sector 1. Round the outside of the Red Bull. No, the Red Bull's going to give him a bit of a squeeze, and rightly so. He maintains that position, but the Renault is all over the back of this Red Bull. I think it's only a matter of time before he's going to get a move done. Oh, there's moving this way and that from the Red Bull, and even a bit of contact of wheels. I think there's a few too many moves in there, but the Renault has got past now anyway. That was a very hard battle indeed. I'm sure Rawley will be breathing a sigh of relief, but bumper car Ben will have DRS coming onto the hangar straight now, but I think the Renault's pulled a nice gap indeed. He's going to use what little overtake he has left, and he's got the position nice and safe, so I'm sure he'll be very happy with that indeed. Aki looking at the back of Unbelievable Jeff, who was dropped off the back of Jason, nearly 2 seconds now already. Aki looking very good for a podium. Jim Bob goes fastest lap of the Grand Prix so far, so it is very tight up front between Jim Bob and Jason. It's just those penalties are going to come into play come the checkered flag. Tom Humphries, he lives up to his name every race. Yeah, I think maybe a trip to the stewards perhaps after on that one to sort that out, but never mind. Let's get back to the action. It's a race between Jim Bob and Jason, and then a race between Unbelievable Jeff and Aki behind. Aki's looking very good. All he needs to do is keep within 9 seconds of his teammate in second, and that will be second place for him. I think he's looking very good for a very strong podium here indeed, isn't he, David?
Yeah, he's going to look very good. It's going to look very good at the moment. We've got 1 lap to go.
He certainly has, and I'm sure he won't mind me saying he doesn't deserve to be there, and he's only got it because of the safety car. No, I'm joking. I'm joking, Mark. You've driven exceptionally well, and you did really, really well. Jason has dropped back out of a second of Jim Bob. He's just got back in once again of that 1 second mark, but it is hovering along the mark. Jim Bob is driving very well indeed, despite being on medium tyres. He sets another fastest lap, 127.6, so Jim Bob's pace is exceptionally strong as Jason is taking a few corner cuts again. Rawley then goes fastest lap. He has a bit of clean air, and he's catching up to the back of Aki once again. He has 3 seconds of penalties, Rawley, and he has a 2.3 second behind to bumper car Ben, so he's going to want to stretch that out before the end of the race, but we are on the final lap right now. This is getting very heated up indeed. Russ is behind Stephen P30 for 7th and 8th. I think we might have a few more changes. Aki's looking very close to the back of Unbelievable Jeff. Jason has caught up to the back of Jim Bob once again. It is all heating up. Final lap of the Grand Prix, much like the Silverstone Grand Prix last year. It all gets very spicy on the last lap. Oh, Jason, can he make a move up the inside of Jim Bob? He's much faster through the old turn one. That would be incredible bravery. But Jim Bob keeps the position for now. But Jason's going to get a DRS. Can he make a move? Jim Bob goes on the grass. He gets himself a 3-second time penalty, but I think he's going to be okay still. But Jason has DRS. Is he going to make a move to the inside? He's certainly going to have a look. He gets the move made into the right-hander just before the finish line. He goes up to first position. Wow, what a battle that was. We've got a few close battles further back, but Jason is going to take the checkered flag now to win the Grand Prix, but penalties is going to drop in further down the order. Jim Bob is your race winner. As all things work out, Aki will come home to second place. What a brilliant drive from him. Rawley will recover despite a spin to third place. He gains a few places on penalties as well. Bumper Car Ben jumps up to fourth position. Jason drops down to fifth. Unbelievable Jeff in sixth. His teammate Russ in seventh. So good points all from the Mercedes gang. Mark has recovered to eighth, but a day to forget for the McLaren driver. His position in the championship is under threat once again. But what a race we've had. Have you enjoyed that one, David?
Yeah, I enjoyed every bit of that. That was a fantastic race.
It certainly was, and that was a frantic last lap.
Aki driver of the day.
Yeah, sorry, we forgot to do driver of the day. If you're watching, please pop your vote in the chat quickly. But I think Aki's probably going to deserve that one, isn't he? The game reckons he won that. He deserved it. What a cracking drive by him. I got Tom and Chris both saying congratulations and good job in the commentary box from us both. So thank you very much, Tom and Chris. Appreciate that one. And thank you very much for tuning in. But what a victory from Jim Bob. He extends his championship lead. I'm sure he's absolutely over the moon with that. I'm sure he was feeling the pressure under the first safety car. He took the gamble to stay out on mediums, and it's paid off for him against all the odds. Mark, what a fantastic podium into second place. Well deserved. Driven his heart out this evening. And Rawley did very well to pick up the final spot on the podium. Could have been more from the Renault driver, but unfortunately wasn't to be. But I'm sure he will take a podium given everything that's happened. As we wait for confirmation of the final results. Any votes for driver of the day, please pop it in the chat quickly before we go off air. Our next race will be Tier 2. That will be Wednesday evening. I think we're not going to see any results, unfortunately. But our next race will be Tier 2. That'll be on Wednesday and streamed by Jason, Mr. GFX Lad, on Twitch. So make sure you tune in for that one. Have you anything to say before we go off air, David? No, David has disappeared apparently. Well, from David and myself, who has disappeared, just myself left, but from the both of us, thank you everyone for tuning in. We look forward to seeing you again. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.